Why did the gambler go to the bakery? Because he heard the rolls were on a hot streak. Now, if that doesn't get your adrenaline pumping, I don't know what will. Welcome, dear listeners, to the roller coaster ride that is the world of betting. You see, it's not all bright lights and Vegas glamour, though there's plenty of that too. It's a high-stakes game of strategy, nerve, and yes, a little bit of luck. Now, you might be thinking, betting? Isn't that just about throwing your money at something and hoping for the best? Well, dear listener, that's where you're wrong. Betting isn't just some reckless money-burning pastime for those with more cash than sense. No, it's an intricate dance, a delicate balance of risk and reward. Oh, and let's not forget the classic, betting is a quick way to get rich. Now, wouldn't that be something? You place a bet, you win, and voila, you're rolling in dough, right? Well, not quite. If it were that easy, we'd all be millionaires, wouldn't we? The truth is, betting is far from a guaranteed ticket to the high life. It's a game where you analyze, strategize, and sometimes agonize. It's not just about luck, but about understanding the game, taking calculated risks, and knowing when to walk away. And let's not forget the thrill of it all. The anticipation as the dice roll, the cards are dealt, or the horse you've bet on rounds the final bend. Your heart in your mouth, the cheers and groans around you fading into a blur. That, my friends, is the true allure of betting. So to all those who thought betting was just about tossing your money into the wind and hoping for the best, think again. It's a world of strategy, of thrill, and yes, sometimes of loss. But isn't that what makes it so exciting? So betting isn't just about throwing your money around like you're in a music video. There's more to it, folks. Why don't professional gamblers go broke? Because they bet with their heads, not over them. Right? But what does that really mean? Simply put, it means understanding the game you're betting on. And I'm not just talking about knowing the rules, I mean really understanding it. Getting into the nitty-gritty details, the strategies, the players, the horses. You get the drift. Take horse racing, for instance. You don't just walk up, point at a horse and say, I bet on that one because it's pretty. No, my friends, there's so much more to it. You need to know about the horse's form, its jockey, its previous races, the track condition, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Then there's poker. It's not just about having a good hand. It's about reading the room, bluffing, knowing when to fold and when to go all in. It's like a sophisticated game of chicken, except you're not racing towards each other. You're sitting in a comfy chair trying not to sweat. And let's not forget about football. You don't just bet on the team with the fanciest kit or the most fans. You have to consider the team's form, the player's fitness, the head-to-head stats, and so much more. Now I'm sure you're thinking, but I've seen people win by sheer luck. Sure you have. I know a guy who bet on a horse because he liked the jockey's outfit. Did he win? Nope. But he sure looked surprised when his horse came last. Just goes to show, betting on a whim is like trying to catch a fish with your bare hands. You might get lucky once or twice, but most of the time, you're just going to get wet. So why don't professional gamblers go broke? Because they don't just understand the game, they live it, breathe it, and sometimes even dream about it. Remember, folks, knowledge is power. And in betting, it could mean the difference between a yacht and a rubber dinghy. What's the difference between a professional gambler and a puppy? Eventually, the puppy stops whining. Now, let's delve into the world of calculated risks. It's like the difference between jumping off a cliff because you think it's a shortcut to the bottom, and base jumping with a parachute. One is a reckless gamble, the other a calculated risk. In the casino of life, we all have our own strategies. Some of us are like cautious snails inching our way forward, betting on the sure thing. Others, they're the hare, always chasing the long shot, hoping for the big win. But we all know how that story ends, don't we? Take Fred, for instance. Fred loves to bet on the underdog. He's always backing the team that's lost the last 10 games straight, or the horse that's more likely to eat the roses than win the derby. He's also the guy who buys a lottery ticket every week, convinced that his numbers will come up. And every week he's left scratching his head, wondering why he isn't a millionaire yet. Fred, my friend, is a reckless gambler. He's not playing the odds, he's playing the lottery of life. And just like the actual lottery, the house always wins. On the other hand, we have Sam. Sam understands calculated risks. He knows it's not about taking the biggest risk, but the smartest one. He studies the odds, he understands the game, and he makes informed decisions. Is Sam always right? Of course not. But the difference is, when Sam loses, he knows why. He learns from it. And more often than not, he wins more than he loses. Because Sam is not just a gambler, he's a calculated risk taker. So, my dear betting enthusiast, take a leaf out of Sam's book. Don't be like Fred, chasing the impossible dream. Be smart, be calculated, be like Sam. So, remember, in betting, it's not about taking the biggest risk, but the smartest one. Why did the gambler bring a bucket to the casino? He wanted to cash out his chips. Now let's cash out our thoughts and wrap up our bet. In this whirlwind journey, we've delved into the frenzy of betting, understanding the game, and most importantly, the art of calculated risks. We've debunked some myths, like the one that says the more you bet, the more you win. If that were true, we'd all be millionaires, wouldn't we? Remember, knowledge is power. Understanding the game you're betting on isn't just for show. It's the key to making smart bets. And about taking risks? Well, betting is all about risk, but calculated risks, not reckless ones. It's like playing chess, not Russian roulette. So folks, remember, betting isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you keep running after your losses, you'll end up panting in the dust while the smart bettors are sipping champagne at the finish line.